Okay, let's talk about OpenAI. You know them, right? The company famous for these super powerful, super locked down, and yes, super expensive AI models. Well, they just did something nobody saw coming. They dropped a brand new, state-of-the-art model, and it's free. Like, actually free. So you gotta be asking, what's the catch? Let's dive in and figure it out.
But first, just imagine this for a second. What if you could run some of the best AI out there, right on your own computer, totally offline? No more sending your private info up to some random server, no more watching API fees climb higher and higher. Just pure, cutting-edge AI power right there on your desk. Sounds kind of like science fiction, doesn't it?
Well, it's not science fiction anymore. In a move that has the entire AI world buzzing, OpenAI just went and made it a reality.
So, what we're talking about here is a brand new family of models called GPT OSS. And that name alone tells you there's a huge shift happening at one of the biggest companies in AI.
And believe me, this is a massive deal. This is the first time OpenAI has released a big model like this since GPT-2. And that was, what, 5 or 6 years ago? Ever since then, it's been all closed doors and paid APIs. So for them to go back to open, well, that's a major turning point. All right, so what did they actually give us? Let's get into the specifics of what GPT OSS really is, and more importantly, what it can do for you.
Okay, so to be super specific, it's an open weight model. What that means is you get the fully trained, super powerful model, the digital brain, you could say. You can download it and run it wherever you want. Now, you don't get the secret recipe, the training data they used, but you get the finished product. And it's released under a really permissive Apache 2.0 license, which basically means you can do almost anything you want with it.
And it comes in 2 flavors. First, you've got the Absolute Beast, a 120 billion parameter version for serious pro-level work. Its performance is right up there with OpenAI's own paid O4 mini model. You're going to need a hefty GPU for that one. But here's the real game changer, in my opinion, the 20 billion parameter version. It performs about as well as O3 mini. And get this, it can run on a modern laptop with just 16 gigs of VRAM. That kind of power now accessible to so many more people, it's just incredible.
So what can it do? Pretty much all the good stuff. We're talking advanced reasoning, running Python code, searching the web, following really complex instructions, but the #1 feature to pay attention to is tool use. This is what everyone wants right now for building smart AI agents that can actually do things. Talk to other software, pull from databases, use APIs. This model was built from the ground up for that.
This all sounds fantastic on paper, but what does running an AI like this on your own computer actually mean for you in the real world? Let's talk about the practical side of things.
You really get 3 huge wins here. First, total and complete data privacy. If you're a business with sensitive client info, or even just a person who values their privacy, nothing ever leaves your machine. It's a huge deal. Second, customization. You can fine-tune this model on your own documents, your emails, your code, and turn it into a world-class expert on your stuff. And third, maybe the best part for a lot of us, 0 API costs. Once you have it running, you can use it as much as you want without ever paying per question again.
Now let's talk about performance, because this is where it gets really wild. Take a look at this number, 2,622. What on earth is that?
That is the ELO rating for the big GPT OSS model on a major coding benchmark. Now, for some context, OpenAI's very powerful, very paid O3 model scores around 2706. They have basically just given away a model with almost identical coding skills for free. That's just wow.
And it's not just a coding genius, it's a powerhouse across the board. Look at this. In tests on the humanities, it actually beats O4 mini. On some really tough health benchmarks, it performs better than the legendary GPT-4. And in that all-important tool use category, it's better than O4 mini again. This free model is not a watered-down version, it's a true top-tier competitor.
So how is any of this possible? How can a model that's this powerful run so efficiently that you can even get it going on a laptop? Well, the secret isn't just about having a big brain. It's about how you use it. And it's all thanks to some really clever architecture.
The secret sauce here is a technology called Mixture of Experts, or MO for short. Now, think about it like this. Instead of having one single giant general-purpose brain trying to solve every problem you throw at it, you have a whole board of highly specialized experts. When a problem comes in, the system is smart enough to route it to only the small handful of experts that are perfect for that specific job.
And the efficiency gain is just staggering. So while the model has this massive knowledge base of 117 billion total parameters, for any one task, it only activates about 5.1 billion of them. It's got this huge library of knowledge to draw from, but it only uses a tiny fraction of its energy to find the answer. This is the magic that lets it run on hardware that would have been unthinkable for a model this size even a year ago.
So the process is beautifully simple. A complex problem arrives, a smart router sends it to a small, hand-picked team of specialists, and then their combined insights create the final expert-level answer. It's working smarter, not just bigger.
Okay, so we know what it is, we know how it works, and we know it's powerful. But that leaves us with the million-dollar question, why? After years of building walled gardens, why would OpenAI suddenly give something this good away for free?
To really get the why, you just have to look at their history. Back in 2019, you had GPT-2, which was an open release. Then for 5 long years, we had the closed era, GPT-3, GPT-4, all paid APIs. And now, all of a sudden, a complete U-turn back to a more open approach. Something big had to have changed their mind.
Now, OpenAI is being pretty cagey, but there are a few leading theories. One is global competition. There's a flood of incredibly strong open models coming out of other countries, and this could just be a strategic move to stay relevant. Another idea is maybe they're trying to get back to their roots. You know, the original nonprofit mission of OpenAI. Or, and this is probably a smart bet, it could be a classic business play. Give away the model for free, let everyone build amazing things on it, and then sell them other enterprise services down the road.
But in the end, whatever the reason, this release marks a really fundamental shift. We're seeing powerful AI start to move from these massive, centralized data centers owned by a handful of tech giants onto the individual computers owned by you and me. And that leaves us with one last massive question to think about. Who gets to define the future of AI now? Is it the corporations who build it, or is it the global community of developers and users who can finally run it, change it, and build on it for themselves?